Well, hello again. I'm Deb Sofield, and you're listening to my weekly podcast series called Encouragement for Your Life. Many of you know I'm a national speaker and trainer, and as a coach, I help people find their voice and learn to use it. I'm also a conference speaker on the topics of public speaking, presentations, media skills, and crisis communication. If your organization or you're a part of an upcoming conference and you need a keynote speaker, I hope you'll find me at debsofield.com. My book, Speak Without Fear, is available on Amazon, as well as my very cool new series, Encouragement for Your Life, Tough Love Memos to help you fight your battles and change the world. Just go to Amazon and look up my name, Deb Sofield, and all my books will appear. I've got a great theme for today, and it's this. Friend, sometimes your only available transportation is a leap of faith. I'm Deb Sofield. Thanks for spending these next few minutes with me. Let's get started with today's show. Okay, so I have to admit, I love this quote by Margaret Shepherd. Sometimes your only available transportation is a leap of faith. Now listen, I've had a lot of different experiences in my life, and I've taken some chances that on the outside might not have seemed so smart. Okay, they weren't smart on the inside either, but really, who's counting? And I admit that I jumped in anyway many times because I have this theory about life that you've got to go and do what you want to do in case the world changes and those one-time opportunities disappear. And I fundamentally believe that we were not meant to live boring lives. Seriously, I truly think we were meant to live big, exciting lives. Because, friend, the world's too big, too amazing, too discoverable for you and me to sit at home and just not experience it. So I saw a post on Facebook, and it was a quote that I put on my page, and it said this: "Travel is the only thing you buy that makes you richer." I'll say that again. Travel is the only thing you buy that makes you richer. And that's the truth. Hey, and it's not just traveling to other countries, but perhaps a new adventure close to home that makes memories for a lifetime. Now listen, growing up, I knew that if I made a mistake, that I was young enough to survive the fall, whether it was financial, emotional, or physical. I always figured that if my big idea didn't work out, or frankly, if none of my ideas worked out, I was young enough that I could start again without much loss of time, energy, or money. The good old days. Well, now I'm a bit older, and I tend to think a little bit more about my future. You know, a number of years ago, my friend Lisa gave me this little plaque one time when she sensed I was struggling to make a decision about a pretty big opportunity that had presented itself. And on this little plaque was this wild-haired girl, and it was like a little caricature, and she was jumping over a fire, and it said, "This is faith." And the next picture it said, "This is leap of faith." I have to admit, I always liked that little plaque because it did remind me that sometimes living the life of comfort and ease are probably not going to provide the heart-stopping thrill of landing your first airplane ride, or getting up the first time on water skis, or riding the world's longest escalator. And yes, I did that overseas. The plaque also reminds me that sometimes there are problems or issues that you can't lightly step over. You'd be better off to leap over so you don't die a slow burn. The fact is, for most of us, the fire will always be there. But how we get across is the journey we write home about. And you know instinctively that once you make that leap, you've now done something big. Having the courage to make a leap of faith probably is not an everyday occurrence. In fact, if you're having to do it often, you might need to stop and see what's driving the need to remove yourself from certain situations in such a grand fashion. So I came across this quote from Margaret Shepherd years ago, and I've kept it on my computer as a reminder of life, and the quote for my message today is this: "Friend, sometimes your only available transportation is a leap of faith." That there would be a ledge or limb or line that would catch you. I always thought it was an interesting dichotomy that although the fear of the unknown is great, sometimes the fear of the known is greater. I work with people all the time as a coach who look around their current situation and say to me, "Hey, Deb, I got to get out of this. If I stay in this job or relationship or group of friends, I think I might miss my calling that I believe I have on my life." Now, please know, I am not a licensed counselor. I don't have any license except a driver's license. And so I don't usually dispense advice on life or love or leaving. But I do like to help others shake open closed doors so they can see what's on the other side. Now, for some, just seeing with new eyes the opportunity that might await is a big adventure. And it might seem like an enormous leap of faith to take a new job in another country, to build a career, to move to another city, to find their dream. For some, it's to unload and rebuild their life for their new life. And even though on the outside it seems like a small step for mankind, for some, it is a gulf wide enough to expose every fear and every doubt. And friend, the only way through is simply a leap of faith. Because sometimes your only available transportation is a leap of faith. So I have to ask, what leap of faith do you need to take in your own life? Is there something you've always wanted to do but have held back because it seemed like such a big deal? Is there some challenge that you simply can't walk over due to the size? And that if you make a decision, you'll be leaping over mountains? Is there a dream that you've had for years, but you put it on the back burner as your one-day list? Now remember, one day when the kids are grown, the house is paid, the credit cards are manageable, the job is safe, fill in the blank. Just remember, there is no one day. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Not one day. So I need you to make a decision. Think about it, my friends. See, for some to find amazing joy in life, it would be a leap of faith to know that you're ready to do the job, to know that you're able to be successful on the other side, to know that what you'll gain is greater than what you're going to leave behind. Now, please understand, I'm not advocating that you do foolish things that would cause harm to you and your family or company. That fact is silliness, or acting irresponsible is not going to accomplish what you're hoping for. In fact, it might close all doors to your dreams if you act without a plan or purpose or provisions for those you care about. No, that would be what I would call a leap of crazy. That would leave you damaged for years to come. All right, for those of you who are still listening today, just remember that sometimes in life, your only available transportation to reach the goals and dreams and hopes you have lived for is going to be a leap of faith. Now, I admit, I like the idea of leaping, meaning giving it your all, not taking it cautiously step by step, but putting your whole self into the opportunity. To grow a business sometimes, you have to take a leap of faith and hire a few new employees. Trust me, I know the cost of a salary and benefits and training. Sometimes that seems like a huge obstacle. But when the fit is right, you'll wonder why you didn't do it sooner. Your output will increase, your team will grow, and you'll be able to take on new and bigger projects and grow even bigger. I've seen friends wrestle and struggle when it came to bringing on new employees, and then be extraordinarily grateful in the end. Or, this is a tough one, how about restoring a relationship? I know it's hard, but think about it. If you'll be the one who will make the call, set up the coffee meeting, go through with it, that's an unbridled leap of faith on your part for restoration, and it might restore that which was lost. Or you'll realize that once forgiven and somewhat forgotten, it's time to move on with no strings attached because you took the plunge to make it right, or at least as right as you could make it. Monkey off your back, friends. They can wallow in self-pity, but you did the right thing, and now you are free. Every once in a while, I see big leaps of faith, and I so marvel at the commitment that it takes. Whether it's keeping a baby when it was unplanned, or blending a family with a new marriage, and being accepting of all the children as one, or opening your heart to a new member of the family. Not what was expected, but accepted with love. I could go on at the amazing leaps of faith that people take every day. And what's interesting that for so many, it wasn't a hard jump because they believed or they knew it was the right thing to do. And see, that's what makes this world an amazing place, my friends. Everyone doing well by doing good in their own corner of the world. I gotta say, I love today's message because I see the success of it time and time again. And I also see how sometimes due to the fear of the known or unknown, many people leave opportunity behind because they are so comfortable in their itty-bitty little world. And for some, I guess that's okay. That's not how I would live, nor would I encourage those I love to live that small. Now, friend, I hope you dream of more and bigger and better. And just know that there are a lot of people cheering for you, praying for you, believing in you. As you, yes, you, make that mighty leap of faith. Because, friends, sometimes your only available transportation is a leap of faith. I gotta tell you, I love that message. There's just something about it that speaks to me. And I hope it spoke to you today. Friends, I'm Deb Sofield. Thanks for spending these few minutes with me. I appreciate you listening, and I trust my words have given you a bit of encouragement for your amazing life. And I hope you'll join me next week for Deb Sofield's Encouragement for Your Life weekly podcast. Thanks for being with me. Take care. Have a great weekend, everybody.